what this segment is about. We tell you what we're reading and you tell us what you're reading. So what are you reading? Well, we've got a lot going on. There's always a lot going on. And we're going to start with our book of the week, I think. So welcome, Better Reading. What are you reading? Cheryl Arkle, favourite segment of the week. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. Okay, so I'm going to start with our book of the week, which is Tess Wood's. It's called The Venice Hotel, and Tess is such a good friend to Better Reading. Tess lives in Perth in Western Australia. She's written a number of books, but this is a new style of Tess book. It's beautifully narrated. It's set in Venice. It's called The Venice Hotel, and it's about the lives of 4 very different women who are staying at the hotel. Anyway, there's so much there. She writes so beautifully, and we have loved this book, and you have loved this book because so many of you, it was at one of our preview books, wasn't it? And so many of you told us how much you loved it. So this is Tess, and she's a really great writer. She's also a prominent figure in the literary world in Western Australia and in Perth in particular. She's very well connected to other authors. She's a champion of other authors. She's going to be in the office very, very soon, and we're going to record an Authors on Authors with Tess Woods and Melina Marchetta. Look out for that as well. Okay, that's book of the week. This is what we're reading. What are you reading? Okay. Now, what have we got? Christine, hello. Dallasay, she's picked up the new Leanne Moriarty book at lunchtime today. Fantastic. I hope you're enjoying it. Christine, the Venice Hotel cover is beautiful. It really is very beautiful. I'm going to hold that up again. I agree with you, Christine. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Bianca. Oh, hi, Bianca. Welcome. Bianca is looking forward to reading The Venice Hotel. Absolutely. And I guess you probably know, Tess, because you're in WA as well. Anyway, that's what's going on here, and that's what we're reading. Alita says hi, Cheryl, and is reading Kitty Hawk Down by Gary Disher. Emma says hi to the Better Reading team. Okay, now the next book we're going to be talking about is called The Maid by Nita Prose. And it's we've talked about this book for some time. So are we going to put that up, The Maid? Yeah. And is this a cozy crime book? Oh, okay. Because you will remember Nita. Nita used to work in editing, actually, or probably still does in the US. And she wrote this wonderful book called The Maid. And what we've put together for you today is just a little collection of cozy crime. So The Maid is by Nita Prose is one. And also, do you read cozy crime? Do you like cozy crime? Agatha Christie, Murder on the Orient Express. Anthony Horowitz, another Close to Death, another cozy crime, and the master of cozy crime at the moment, Richard Osman, The Bullet That Missed, and also Amanda Hampson, Australian Amanda Hampson, who we love, The Tea Ladies. And look how similar these covers are. We just noticed that in the office, and I guess covers. Actually, you know what? I'm going to ask you a covers question. Do covers matter to you? Is the book cover important to how you choose your book? Let me know in the comments. I'd be really interested to know this, because these today we noticed were so similar, but they're actually 2 different designers. They're not the same book designer, but they are the same publisher. This one is from the UK and this one is from Australia. Do book covers matter? Do they matter to you? That's the question I'm asking. Okay, so that's there. So many comments. Sue says, hi, Cheryl. I'm reading The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell. It's a great read, easy read. Bianca, there are so many books being published at the moment in the next few weeks that I must read. There are, Bianca, you will be swamped. I mean, this is the time now. Because we're in August, really from Father's Day onwards, the publishing world gets quite busy, quite frantic, and lots of books start coming out, and you will see, a massive increase in your favourite authors' books being out. So that's what's happening. So there will be, Bianca. Christine says, currently reading Michael Rowbotham's book, Storm Child. What a brilliantly written book. Well, that's a segue to Authors on Authors. Are we going to get some of the footage up? We had a wonderful live Authors on Authors right here in the office. We had a live audience, and we had Michael Rowbotham and Danica McKenzie, and it was Michael's celebrating 20 years of publishing, and they were here in the office doing an Authors on Authors, and that's being released right now. So go to YouTube, find our YouTube page, Better Reading. There'll be a link in the comments, and have a look at Authors on Authors. We've had so much fun with these. So as I said, Michael Rowbotham and Danica McKenzie. We've had Petronella and Margaret Hickey. We've had, who have we had? We've had Michael Connolly, Candice Fox. We've had Tim Ailiff and Anna Downs. There are so many, and so many coming up. As I said, Tess Woods is coming up with Melina Marchetta. So go onto our YouTube channel and have a look at Authors on Authors. They're really going off, which we're super happy with. Did we show a little snippet? Okay, let's see it.
I'd written 15 autobiographies for other people with my name had never been on them. Yes. So the very first time I ever saw my name on a book, it felt absolutely, it felt like they'd made a dreadful mistake.
I'm still so early in my career that, absolutely, I'm like bathed in imposter syndrome. I think Tipping Point was sort of the first book where I felt like, oh, okay, I'm sort of okay.
Because we're all capable of murder.
Yes.
In the right circumstances.
Just the right circumstances, yes.
And, and I think people are fascinated by that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go, Authors on Authors. I have watched that episode several times. Actually, I've watched all of them several times. And, I can watch them again and again. They are so fantastic. And every time I pick up something new or I learn something new. So, Christine, thank you for that segue with Michael Rowbotham's book, Storm Child. Now, the question I'm asking everyone today is, do book covers matter? And the reason I'm asking this is everybody's enjoying or commenting about Tess Wood's new book, The Venice Hotel, and saying what a beautiful cover it is. Does that matter to you? Okay. Sally says, hi, Cheryl. I've just finished A Secret Garden in Paris. It's a Better Reading review. It was the most beautiful written story of 3 women whose lives are intertwined. Loved it. Thank you, Sally. That's a lovely review. Julie says, book cover VIP for me, very important is what she's saying, and that's interesting. Sandra says, hi, Cheryl and everyone. I'm reading The Chocolate Factory by Mary Lou Stevens. We love Mary Lou, great friend of Better Reading, and is often joining us in this segment. Sally says, book covers absolutely matter. Sue says, a book cover is what first grabs my attention when buying a book. Emma says, I don't read frequently, but do enjoy the genre, especially Agatha Christie. Oh, she's talking about cozy crimes that we were talking about there. Rita, it's good. It's a good reminder that the book cover is just that, dressing. Okay, thank you, Rita. Jess says, hi, Cheryl. I'm reading The Morbids by Ewa Ramsey. Yvonne says, sometime she's reading Someone in the Attic by Andre Mara. Vicky says, love an interesting cover, but wouldn't judge a book by its cover. Well, that's interesting. Bianca says, I'm obsessed with the cover design. I'm fed up with copycats for covers and titles, etc. A disadvantage when you consume so many books, you see the trends, the copycat trends. I agree with that, Bianca. That's a really interesting comment. Simone says, I'm reading The One Wild and Precious Life by Sarah Wilson. Carolyn just finished The Echoes by Evie Wilde, and I highly recommend it. I love Evie Wilde. Yeah, that's new. Thank you for that recommendation, Carolyn. Okay, so what else have we got? I've got lots to tell you. Where am I? Who am I? Here I am. Okay, all right, so I've told you about Authors on Authors. Now, we've got a crime writers panel coming up, and it's going to be live. Right, there is the information. Live, the 12th of September at 8 p.m. So it's going to be live streaming via Facebook. So you need to join us. And these are the authors that are going to be right here in the office. So it's going to be Dave Warner, David Wish-Wilson, and Alan Carter. And they're going to be right here in the office speaking to you via Facebook Live. and that is coming up the 29th of, the 12th of September. The 12th of September. So join us via Facebook Live. I can't wait. That's going to be a really good conversation. All three authors are from Western Australia. Oh, I think Dave Warner lives here, actually. Well, the other two live in WA. Anyway, there you go. Now, what else? There's so much going on. I'm going to be at the Northern Beaches Festival, the Northern Beaches Readers Festival, I think it's called. So I'm going to be there the 29th of September between 10 and 11 a.m. And I'm going to be hosting a panel, and it's called Chef's Kiss. And it's our love affair with food and fiction. You know, two very great topics, very, very close to my heart, right? Okay, so that's coming up. That's the 29th of September, Northern Beaches. If you're in Sydney, go along. It's not just me. There's hundreds of panels, and they're all super interesting, and I'd love to see you there. So come join us. Okay, so have I done all my homework? Have I covered everything? I have. Oh, good. The podcasts, right, where are they? I've lost them. Okay, so then I'm going to talk to you about podcasts. But before I do that, I'm going to read the comments. Now, Yvonne just finished The Echoes by Evie Wyld. We talked about that. Yvonne, Bianca says she loves Sarah. Emma says, hang on a second. Emma, as someone who has worked in a bookstore, book covers are definitely important. It's shorthand to convey what the book is about. Really, that's very interesting, Emma, and thank you for that. Eloise, I'm halfway through The Gallery of the Dead by Chris Carter. Amazing so far. Christine, watching Authors on Authors with Dunica and Michael was just wow. Michael winning 2 Gold Dagger Awards and coming up against Stephen King. How amazing. It is really amazing. You know, he's had such a stellar career. I loved that night. It was really wonderful, and I'm glad you guys are able to enjoy it on YouTube. Okay, Helen just finished The Wartime Book Club by Kate Thompson and just loved it. Joy Bell. Hi, Joy Bell. Oh, how I love The Borrowed Life of Frederick Fife. Such a warm read. That was Anna. What was who? Anna Johnston. That's right. We had her in the office too. Okay, now we've got some podcasts coming out. Podcasts are going very, very well. I know that you're loving them because they've been downloaded and people are listening to them, and that's fantastic. So the next podcast that's being released is The Days I Loved You Most by Amy Neff. Great conversation, and that podcast is out now. And also Linwood Barclay, who was talking to me via the UK. He lives in the UK. Had a great conversation with him on crime and his stellar career as a writer. And that podcast is also out now. Okay, now what have we got? Joy Bell, we've just read hers. What have we got? Yvonne, covers don't matter to me, and I read 5 books a week. Wow. Okay, Yvonne, well, that's really interesting. And so how is it then? Yvonne, what makes you choose? How do you choose a book? Is it a recommendation? Is it a friend's given it to you? Do you go to the library and browse? Do you go to the bookshop and browse? How do you find your books? I'd like to know. Simone says, yes, book covers matter, but they need to match the book, not just replicate trends. Interesting. Helen, I love book covers, especially those that aren't textual. Oh, especially those that are textual. Yes, you know, when they've got a little bit of foiling or a little bit of this. I get what you're saying, Helen, and they are beautiful. Bianca, my best books of the past week, The Light Pirate by Lily Brooks Dalton. Okay, thank you, Bianca. Joy Bell, yes, the cover attracts me, but the author is more important. Kaz, about to start By Any Other Name by Jodie Picoult. Yes, love a good book cover. Jodie's fantastic. She's out here at the moment, isn't she? So she's been touring, so you would have seen a bit of Jodie around. Jane, reading Airs and Graces by Erica James, an oldie but a goodie. We love oldies because really it's new to you, Jane. Anything that hasn't been read is new to you. Sandra, the cover, not as important as the author, although I do love a beautiful cover. Yeah, so there's so much going on here. Cheryl, Debbie says, hi, Cheryl, I'm reading an arc of When It Rains by Dave Warner from Better Reading, and it arrived. Okay, so that's, I'm going to hold that up. Where's Dave Warner? Right here. There you go. And that's part of the panel, the crime panel, that we're going to have right here in the office, and that's coming up. And that crime panel is the 12th of September at 8 p.m. All right, what else do I need to talk to you about? There's so much going on. Now, when you're hearing people talk about the Better Reading reviews or the Better Reading preview, you can all join up to those. You can all put your hand up for it. That is via our EDM, our email that we send out every Wednesday. And every Wednesday, you can register to be a reviewer if you like. We usually have 50 to 100 books to give away. And of course, we have 2 or 3 every week. So anyone out there that would like to review a book, just subscribe to our newsletter. It's a great program. We love it. Okay, what have we got here? Natasha. Hi, Cheryl. Just finished Shuggie Bain. That's another old one, by Douglas Stewart on audiobook for book club. A great conversation about the tragic Scottish family story that won the 2020 Man Booker. It did win the 2020 Man Booker. Jane just started Breaking the Dark by Lisa Jules. Ilona, hi Ilona, just finished Boy Swallows Universe, a profoundly beautiful written book, unbelievable. I loved Lola in the Mirror too. So there you go. Boy Swallows Universe was Trent's first book. Sold hundreds and thousands of copies, I think actually probably millions of copies, was #1, was his first book, debut novel. He's gone on to write a few, all standalone, and Alone has just read the first one, which is fantastic, isn't it? It's wonderful. When you pick up that book and read it for the first time, it's your relationship with the book, which I love. Okay, what else have we got? Natasha, insightful episode about relationships and grief. Thank you. Alona loves a great book cover. Karen just finished The Days I Loved You Most. Absolutely loved it, 5 stars. Jackie, sometimes the cover gets my attention first, so they are really important. Reading The Shadow Sisters by Lucinda Riley. Really enjoying the Seven Sisters series. Wow, there you go. Okay, so keep going with your comments. Do covers matter to you? I'd really like to know what you think, and thank you for those that are sharing them. We're going to sign off now. I think we've covered everything today. Thank you for joining us. We love this segment. We love all of you at home. Lots coming up this month, and stay tuned and stay